morning, everyone. This is Linda with the Bedtime Bible Chat. Well, I hope you all had a wonderful Good Friday and Resurrection Sunday and weekend. I won't be showing myself on screen today. I have got to go to the doctor. I almost fell and I got hurt, and I am in no shape to be on screen today. So please forgive me. Anyway, I was standing on the patio, wasn't moving, and all of a sudden, I toppled over. At the second time that I fell without moving, and both times I was able to be caught, but this time I got hurt in the process. But anyway, I'm going because I need to find out why I'm falling when I'm not moving. I'm sure it's just an inner ear thing and some medication. Maybe there's fluid behind the ear or something. So I'm going to go ahead and get that taken care of so I don't break a hip or something next time. Well, enough about me. That was my Resurrection Sunday. And we were outside getting the garden started, digging up the flower beds because the landlord doesn't want my flower beds there, so we got to move everything out of the flower beds. And since the tree has been cut down, there's no shade there anymore, so all my shade-loving plants I'm having to give to my son because he's got plenty of shade. And so we started that yesterday. Jamie dug everything up. We've got just a few more things to dig up and move. So that's the next thing on the list to do. I forgot to do a gardening video on that yesterday, so please forgive me. I will do one next time. We should be doing it tomorrow. Jamie's going to mow grass today. Okay, let's get into our study today. It's going to have some headlines on it to back up the scripture to show what Solomon was talking about and how it's still going on. But let's get over there and read the scripture. Proverbs 10, verse 23. I'm going to give you the King James Version, and then we're going to read the ESV version to get a more clear picture. Verse 23 says, "It is as sport to a fool to do mischief, but a man of understanding hath wisdom." All right, let's get a clearer picture of that. The ESV says, "Doing wrong is like a joke to a fool, but wisdom is pleasure to a man of understanding." Now we can see pretty much exactly what Solomon was talking about here. Now, doing wrong is like a joke to the fool. I want to show you some examples of that. Vice President Harris ripped for meeting expelled Tennessee Democrats, but not mass shooting victims. She's okay with visiting people who did wrong in our Senate chambers, our House of Representative chambers, but she couldn't go and visit the victims of the mass shooting at the Christian school. Well, could it be because Biden jokes he doesn't believe Christians were targeted in Nashville shooting if Senator Hawley does? In other words, because a Republican believes it was a Christian targeting, which it was, then Biden is joking around and saying that he ain't going to believe it because a conservative does. He's joking around with a horrible event. All right, let's show you some more. Has the White House even said the word Christian since the Nashville school shooting? We know that they're after the Christians now. Now, here's something else that took place. Two Florida women arrested after taunting, abusing elderly woman on live stream. And the sheriff says they're pieces of crap. I won't show you the video. But these two women were live streaming as they were tending to this poor woman who they were taunting. And when they were changing her underwear, they videoed her, and they had to censor that part of it, showing her private parts on their live stream and laughing about it. And then their commenters were laughing right along with them. Children watch transgender adults stripped naked in body positive show. Well, there you go, exactly what Solomon was talking about. These evil people think it's so funny when somebody is in distress, when somebody is hurting, when they hurt somebody. They think it's funny. They put it on a video. How many times have we heard about kids in high school videoing them beating up another kid, and they're laughing about it? That's what Solomon was talking about. These are fools, Solomon said. But he also said, let's go back over there. He also said that, but wisdom is pleasure to a man of understanding. What does he mean by that? Well, it means, remember now, in the book of Proverbs, understanding, knowledge, wisdom, that's all from the Lord. And understanding what the Lord wants of us, how he wants us to conduct our lives, is what this is talking about. So we get the understanding from the Lord that he wants us to live our life in a righteous way, loving our neighbor, doing good for one another, helping any way we can. This is what we take joy in, because we want to hear God say, well done, good and faithful servant. That is joy to us. Not hurting people, not destroying lives and laughing about it. So you see, this is what this scripture here says. So what do we get for each other? You know, this in the world you and I live in, what do we get out of this? Well, you know, a lot of people, and I've seen this all my life, and it upset me all my life. A lot of people think it's funny when another person gets hurt. They stand there and they laugh. Or if they do something that they think is funny, but it causes the other person to get hurt, they laugh about it. It may be that they only fall down, or they might stub a toe on their foot or something, and it hurt their foot because they were barefoot and the other guy wasn't. They think it's funny. I don't see anything funny about causing another person pain, even if it was an accident. I know people laugh out of nervousness too, but there is nothing funny about causing another person pain. And then there are people who like to talk about one another, gossip, and they're laughing while they were destroying a reputation. I mean, there is nothing funny about murdering a person, and that's what gossip is. It's murdering a person because you have destroyed that person in the eyes of the person you're gossiping with, and you're laughing about it. I'm sorry, there is nothing funny about that. So, the way we need to live our life is just to remember that pain of any kind is not funny. And if you accidentally cause someone to have pain, I'll give the example of you're barefoot, your husband's not, he's got on his work boots, and you stub your toe on his work boots, and that hurts so bad. The husband should not stand there and laugh at you because you're hopping around on one leg because you're hurting from the other foot. That's not funny. He should say, "Oh, I am so sorry," and grab you and try to support you. But no, people laugh about stuff like that. We need to be more in tune to each other's feelings. You know, I know the left has gone too far with feelings, but we do have to care about another person's feelings, but not to the point where it destroys people, but to the point that you don't purposely do something to cause somebody pain and then laugh about it like these two women here did. What they did was disgusting, showing that old woman's private parts on their live stream when they're changing her, and laughing and laughing and laughing. I'm sorry, there's nothing funny about that. And for President Biden joking around about the dead children in that school, and he has yet to say anything sympathetic about these people that were murdered. Everything that he has said has been against guns and against how people look at the transgender woman who killed them. They shouldn't be looking down on that transgender woman because she was a transgender. It's all about poor transgender woman. Not one word of sympathy for the families of the lost. This is what is talked about here in this scripture. We don't make jokes about doing wrong things to people. First off, we aren't to do wrong things to people, but we certainly don't want to think it's funny when we have. And we want to make sure that all of our movements in our life is to please God. That's where our pleasure comes from, pleasing God. Well, like I said before, we're going to be in some pretty terrible times, and it's too hard to think about what it is, because it's coming fast like a freight train, wide open, downhill even. I mean, it's coming, and I can't tell you explicitly what it is and when it is, because I don't want to scare you. I just want you to follow Jesus through the fire, because we're going to go through some really hard times, and unless you follow Jesus through that fire, we aren't going to make it. And how do you follow Jesus through the fire? You commune with him constantly, staying as close as possible, because when the fire starts on your neck of the woods, you've got to go through that fire. And if you don't trust in Jesus, you're not going to get through it. That's what he told me in my dream. You have to follow him and walk through the fire. There's stuff coming, and that represents the fire. We've got to walk through that stuff, aka the fire. And we'll get through it fine without a stench of smoke or a singe of hair on our head. We will get through it fine if you're walking with Jesus through that fire. So, Get that way, stay that way, don't leave his side, and you will get through it fine. Okay, guys, I hope that helps somebody, and I'm sorry I had to be off screen today. I got to go in there and get ready to go to the doctor, and that's going to take a long time because I'm not moving very well. Okay, it's heck getting old. I wouldn't advise it to anybody. All right, I hope to see y'all tomorrow on Bedtime Bible Chat if the Lord's willing.